기자부대, hop on the beat!
Welcome back to another JoJo chapter review. This time we'll be taking a look at the 14th chapter of Crazy Diamond Demonic Heartbreak, the prequel to Part 4 starring Josuke and Hol Horse. In the last chapter, Ryoko encountered the spirit of her cousin Kakyoin, and Josuke finally broke free from the influence of Pet Sounds' stand. This chapter continues from where we left off with Hol Horse trying to prevent Ryoko from shooting herself. He has a flashback of a meeting he had with Devo, who criticizes him for always trying to be number 2. We get to see a glimpse of Hol Horse getting his stand named by Enya. He says he'd rather have his stand be the Lovers. Devo says that the name Emperor is unfitting for him and taunts him with Ebony Devil. Back in the present, Hol Horse realizes he's proving Devo right by not being courageous enough. Ryoko snaps out of the ability, causing Hol Horse to stumble backwards and start hanging off the ledge. After Hol Horse mentions the comic book, she remembers that he was shown inside it and must have some connection to Dio. She points the gun at him and demands to know what happened to Kakyoin. This is of course following up on the last prediction we saw in the book, that Ryoko would end up shooting Hol Horse. Back to Josuke, he questions Karaya about why he attacked him. He sends Pet Sounds to attack him again, this time making him experience a stand rush from the world. He mentions how just because he was attacked doesn't mean he can't still fight, since he and Pet Sounds are separate beings. However, the attack has no effect, and it's revealed that Josuke had cracked Pet Sounds' beak. Josuke figured out that the ability comes from Pet Sounds repeating back noises it had heard before, but with its beak broken, the sounds come out just wrong enough to not work. Josuke also remembers what Karaya said about them being separate and uses Crazy Diamond to undo the connection between Karaya and Pet Sounds, fixing the piece of his ear back to him. He attacks him, tying him up with the cutting torch and a tarp, causing him to fly away like a hot air balloon. Once again, we got a pretty good chapter. Just like last time, I think Josuke got to shine in this one, totally outsmarting the enemy in a way that makes sense. I'm thinking that this isn't the complete end of Karaya, since it seems like there is some unfinished business regarding him and his grandfather. Another thing I really liked was the Part 3 callback this time. This one actually gave us a nice look into Hol Horse's past and how he fit in with the other minions of Dio. I also like that it addressed his philosophy of remaining as a number 2, which is one of the first parts of his character that we ever got to know. The main thing we need to anticipate for the next chapter is Ryoko and Hol Horse and how that situation will get resolved. I definitely don't think Hol Horse will die and will most likely get another fake-out situation like when Jotaro was shot. I've thought since early on that Ryoko will most likely learn the truth of Kakyoin's death through Pet Sounds' stand, and that's still a distinct possibility if Josuke fixes the bird's beak and controls it himself for a time. In other news, it was mentioned by the author that the series would be ending soon, and that it entered the climax with this chapter, so I think it's very possible we'll actually get the end of the story next month with the 15th chapter. That would also round the series off at exactly 3 volumes, unless they manage to fit another chapter in there. I think it's likely that the final chapter will be a double-length one like with the series' first chapter. I've really enjoyed this spin-off over the past year, so I'm greatly anticipating its ending and the fates of Hol Horse and Ryoko. If you want to be updated on new chapters and videos, join the Hum and Beat Discord using the link in the description. You can also support the channel on Patreon to receive exclusive rewards like Discord perks, uncut videos, and the opportunity to submit questions. This video's question comes from Lime Jinjo. They ask, what other series do I like? Strictly talking about anime and manga here, my other favorites are Cowboy Bebop, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, and Monster. Thank you for watching. This is the part of the video where I thank my $5 and up patrons. Thank you to Alex Ramirez, Doorbell, Crayon, Rigovids, Zucato, Pumpkin Doge, Marrow, Almighty Quarth, Oof, Cowrie, Halil, Gatlin Grove, Lime Jinjo, 17 Hit Combo, Phantom Kai, Sponge Cake, Cakext, Feliciano Rabaja, Rihanna Meme, Christian McDonough, Navi, Emmanuel Etienne, Pulse Dog, Great Riek, D, and Dr. Zombie.